Hey everyone, Nick Shaheen here looking at a few cannabis stocks, spot stocks, and I'm going to start with ACB. It's hard for me to say the word, Aurora Cannabis. Anyway, this is more of a micro look at it versus a macro look at the company itself. It's more of a price action for the stock. I've done a few videos of late. Most of them have been spot on as far as timing, except especially this one right here, a video here, a video there, and then a couple of videos in between, and played out perfectly according to my eye. So what now? Is it, today is Monday, down 3%, the 16th. So is that the end of it? I can't answer it for me from this point of view, so I have to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to go into 30-minute candles. So fast enough to see some levels on the short term, not too fast to where somebody who's not trading minute to minute. It allows for some swing trades, let's put it this way. So I do have a lot of lines from the other videos. So I'm going to start in and work out. First of all, there was a tight situation here back early December, and then it resolved itself to the upside. I don't know which way it's going to go, but I do know kind of where they want to go with it. So the upside went exactly. So I drew this ahead of the action, and this stalled exactly where. I wasn't a genius as estimating. I just looked left and placed it. And I was like, okay, if they get here, they're going to sell off. And so indeed, they got there and they sold off. But it's not all lost because they still tried to go up again. Had I done a video somewhere on here, I would have drawn another line here and probably put the target of it here, and I would have said that there's going to be resistance somewhere on here. So that would have come to play, and then they're falling back again. The good news is that they're falling, setting higher lows, although albeit a little bit, not too much. But the point of control is developing. What is the point of control? It's this peak right here in the volume. These bars on the left take the volume from down here and throws them to where they actually happened on the chart. So it tells me that this point in time right here, 248, 249, 250, let's call it for round numbers, is being actively traded by both sides. So anytime they get to it, they start fighting. So it is going to be support on the way down and resistance on the way up. So if they fall below it, it's going to be resistance on the way up. As long as it's holding up as support, it's good news for the bulls. So what's next for the bulls? The best thing we could hope for somebody along, they would, and this, by the way, to me, works for any chart. So if they can go back and inch up their way this way, it's not going to be a straight up point. And they come back to prior failure points, they can trigger some sort of a buy up there. So if they trigger off of this, they're going to choke a little bit here and then continue. This would be another choking area. So I would expect some resistance here and here. So it's not going to be sliced through. On the way down, the best hope for the bulls is that this cluster and this cluster, which have served as launching pads before, continue to hold as support. So far, it is support until it's not. And if it's not, what happens? I mean, this is as low as it gets, I think. So you look, this was the low of late. So I would eyeball that. And then a little bit higher, because this usually is an overshoot. If this was the earnings reaction, and I think other companies also reported that week. So it was like an overshoot lower. Everybody sells at the same time. So my gut says that this consolidation zone is really trying to set a base for the bulls. And I was going to go to a 2-hour chart. I don't think I get much more because that was a recent low and there was nothing before it. The only way I could get more intelligence is I can get to a weekly, which will strengthen the idea of this is they're trying to base really hard because they have had a lot of action below here. So way back in 2017, they have had a couple of pokes higher. In fact, where they are today is at the poke right here sometime in 2017, April or so, meaning it's a contentious level. Look how much it gave up. I'm not saying it's cheap. I'm just saying from a price action, it's going to take a lot more to take it down. And for now, the bulls are trying to hang on. So that's the story here. Canopy, same spirit, got clobbered on earnings and then on somebody else's earnings, and it bounced, did video, then a really tight squeeze here, then a new CEO, They almost gave it back up or halfway up, which is fine, Fibonacci, if you believe in that. And then they set a higher high. So I have no reason to believe that this green line here is not in action. So there is more. So if I'm long, I would stay long. I would watch this candle here and this cluster here. So 20 point round numbers, 1980 to 20.2 is important to hold so they can maintain this higher low momentum. I'm going to go to 60 first. Okay, so you can see how this is kind of an inverse head and shoulders developing, loosely interpreted. I'm not a technician, but I do know how they work, and I do make them work for me quite well, and I've done it in videos before. And let me see if I can tell you how I can loosely interpret that. So you got this kind of action. An effort, another effort, an effort, complex head and shoulders, if you want to argue. Now, this sounds familiar. I must have done a video about it already. So anyway, as long as they hold this point of control zone and they don't decide to go back and give away the whole CEO pop, because there's no reason, the bullish green thing is still ongoing, in my opinion. So no need to panic, even though it was a down day. I don't know the fundamentals, so if there's something fundamentally playing in there, that's aside. I'm not giving anybody recommendations on upside or anything like that. So Tillery, okay, so clearly, what about triple bottoms? There's nothing more to say. Hold or not. If you don't hold, you're going to whoosh down to below 1750. If you do hold, maybe you go back up to 1950. 1950 is a pivotal point. It's got an orange line on it, and that's an alert for me. If it goes above it, maybe they're trying to do something new. That's the time I would take it. If I wanted to short it on a new low, maybe I would short it. I don't know. It's not for me, so I wouldn't short it, but somebody that wants to short it, the next stopping point, if they lose that low, is below 1750. If you believe in an ABC move type of a deal from here on down, who knows where it's going to go. I'll do one more, maybe Chronos. Ooh, too bad. Okay, so this was a nice setup here that just got lost. So there is some intelligence here, information I should say. So this candle right here is important from last week, Friday, 7.08, I would say, and this candle is important. I believe I've highlighted this candle in prior video. It looks familiar. So let's call it just above 7. The zone around 7.1 to 7 is important. It has had a lot of peaks. Like, look at this spike right here. I don't know if you can see them. Let me see if I can zoom in, courtesy of Microsoft. This little top right here, this little here. If I'm going to go left, same level, look, 1, 2, 3, back to back, and then this rejection right here. So it's been violent for a while. Pivotal, better word. So the bulls look like they lost the momentum here a little bit, and they lost kind of the control, so they need an update tomorrow. Today down, Monday down 2.4%. Not good, but if they can hold this, not all is lost, and maybe this move was pretty big. Don't know what happened here. Must have had some sort of a rule change. Is this Shopify news? Some sort of about Shopify's clients are allowed to sell cannabis through Shopify. Anyway, do your homework. And then maybe, if this is going to be in a third burst, this is not dead yet. So stops is where it changes from person to person. Some people can see more red, other people cannot. In theory, I don't know. I would probably hold on a few ticks out of there. All right, Nick signing out. If you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe to the video channel. It's free. I do a lot of videos. And there's also a link to the chat, free access to it.